Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, October 27th. Welcome. I hope y'all have had a great couple of weeks. It's been pretty good here. It's been 2 weeks in the life of Early. There's always something stupid going on in my life. But we're not working 15 hours a day right now, so it makes the stupid easier to handle. I'll say that. I did get some stitching done. And I don't know if I got any other kind of crafting stuff done. It's been busy, but not stressful, kind of busy. Last weekend, Dax and Wyatt worked the air show in Houston. They came home sunburned as all get out. I asked Dax, why didn't you wear sunblock? And he's like, I did. And I said, well, you needed to put it on regularly. And he said, I reapplied like every hour. He is the whitest white boy, I am telling y'all. He and Wyatt both, like I said, they were so sunburned, even with sunblock. And then on Monday and Tuesday, Dax and Wyatt did some role playing with the sheriff's department. They have different scenarios that they sometimes do, and they need volunteers to role play to train the cadets in the Sheriff's Academy. Dax has done a lot of them. I've participated in one, which was, it wasn't actually for the Academy, it was for the group of officers that they used to train for crowd control. So that was pretty fun. We had to be like rowdy participants at a concert who wouldn't leave. So that was fun. But Dax loves it. He loves to do it. And so this is the first time that Wyatt went. And this one was a pretty physical thing. Let's see, Wyatt, they had them shackled and handcuffed together, like being arrested or whatever, where they've all been arrested and they're all shackled together. And when they get to a place where they're going to pat them down and stuff and uncuff them, they undid the hands, but Wyatt was still shackled, and they had told him, when they undo your hands, you need to run, which Wyatt did, but he's shackled. Of course, he's not going to win. And he kind of got body slammed. One day, Dax got hog-tied and then put in the chair where they tie you in the chair for people who are behaving badly. And then the next night, and I posted on my Instagram if y'all saw that, he got shot in the courtroom. He got shot with soap bullets, but it's left a pretty ugly mark on his arm. Once in the arm and once in the chest, but they enjoyed it nonetheless, and it's helpful to the sheriff's department, so that's all good too. Okay, enough of that. Stitching. I'm going to start off with what for me feels absolutely amazing. For the rest of y'all, will kind of be like, eh. But, okay, so I worked on Wyatt's stocking from, I can't even think of who it's from, Dimensions. My lifetime project. Anyway, I feel amazed because I got some more of the face put in. There's a little bit more here that goes. But I came down, I guess I could take the needle minder out of the way, couldn't I? It just stuck to the other one. I counted down and started his shoulder. I counted from here down and from here over, and they both came out to the same spot. So I find that really amazing. One of the days I worked on it this week, I spent, because this was all filled in with black. So I went back and ripped out a whole bunch of the black that was in there, because it was in the way of where this should be. Parts of it. But that's his shoulder. I think the next time I pick this up, I will do the strap from his bag coming down here, and then this will give me what I should fill in, the right areas and stuff where I'm going to need to fudge over in here, and then I should be back on track with the whole thing. The most amazing part is that I was interested in working on it. I was excited to work on it. Instead of just being like, I gotta work on this. So that was, like I said, exciting. It makes a huge difference to me. So, Kathy, there you go. There you go. And Kathy, I pray you live to 120, at least. At least. I worked just a hot little minute on Abigail's stocking. Since the last time you've seen it, I have filled in the snowman's face a little bit, and you can't see that, but I had started a hat that he's wearing. I had done all around here, and there are 2 different shades there. I had done all of one shade only to realize I had grabbed the wrong color, so I've pulled all that back out. So I did a lot if you consider the stitching and the reverse stitching that I've done. There's going to be a little bit of a reverse stitching theme, I feel. Maybe not. Maybe just because I had to do it on more than one project, it feels like it's all of them. I worked on Christmas Gentleman. Don't forget, if you would like this pattern, not my falling apart, taped back together one, but an in better shape one, to go back to last week's video. Well, not last week, because you know me. The last video. And just say that you want to stitch Christmas Gentleman, and in 2 weeks-ish, I'll be drawing for that. And Shelly Key X Stitch is going to ship it to you. I'm telling you, that's the way to do a giveaway. You give away, you draw, you get all the glory, and somebody else ships it for you. I like that. Anyway, if you're interested, don't forget to do that. It really is a beautiful pattern, but it is heavy on the back stitch. Anyway, I came up and did some more of his robe. I had been missing a color, and I was kind of like, why in the world am I missing that color? It was just like a little fill-in color, and apparently I had dropped it out of my bag and set it with a bunch of things that were bobbinated that I put back in the boxes. So I wasn't missing it at all. It was there. But obviously I found it and I went and filled in. The other day, maybe Tuesday, it had to be Tuesday because Dax was not home. Addison and her boyfriend Jacob were acting stupid and ripped the handle off of my freezer. Yeah, off the freezer door. Broke part of the trim, pulled the handle right off, so the pieces to fix that came in yesterday, so I'm guessing Dax is probably going to do that today. In a little bit, when I finish, I'm going to take Kirsten driving. She has her test next week, I think. Something like that. I think it's on the 5th. I think Dax and I have jury duty on the 4th. Yeah. I've never known 2 people in the same house to have jury duty on the same day at the same place. But Dax and I both we actually got our summons for October 14th or something like that. When I called and I'm like, please, can we reschedule? Which they did. And I was actually really surprised because I expected them to tell me that Dax had to call and reschedule himself, but they took care of both of them on the phone for me. So I'll take it. I worked on the birdhouse. The welcome, because you know me and my welcomes. I've not been doing enough welcomes lately. I know that. Down here, I mostly have worked on finishing that one up, and I got filled in some of this stuff right around in here. There's still quite a bit of back stitching to be done on this piece. I think I'll, there's still like a post and some stuff. I think I'll finish down here, this part and back stitch, and before I move up and work on this. I think I'd like to get the back stitching done before I move on, because I don't want to come back and have that be the only thing that I need to do. I decide what I'm going to stitch every day. I spend one of the little roulette things, I've got them all written down on a calendar. Heck, I've got next year all written down on a calendar what I'm stitching with. I usually go by that. But like yesterday, because we were going to the Renaissance Festival, and I was supposed to stitch on the mason jars dimensions kit, and that is not a car stitching kind of thing. So I did not stitch on that one, but I did stitch yesterday about 5 stitches, and I'll show you in a minute. Then realized that I was off and needed to pull things out, so I was kind of like, well, that's enough of that, and put it up. Yes, Dax thinks I'm nuts. But anyway, on my roulette, I pulled out, it spun for, I have a wheel of pretty general things. And it landed on new starts. So I have another wheel that's new starts that I've started this year. They're all on one wheel. And so I spun and it picked this one. Just My Cup of Tea. This is from Cross Stitcher Magazine, September 2016. And it's very impressive. I know, right? And this is twice I've stitched on it. When I had started before, I think I had one side and then the line across the top. So I've come back and it's really hard to tell. Obviously, I finished the outline of the book. And then there's like a pale yellow and a white. White on white, yes. Don't you love it? So, a few stitches in that. Another 10 years, we'll be done. I don't think I'm going to be getting these embroidered ornaments all done this year. I should have taken this with me in the car to work on. But I have started. I'm working on the back stitching. I've gotten a fair amount of it done. I've got to do around the feet and down here at the bottom of the bottom of the robe is done. It's in blue. And I don't understand this because all my back stitching is hidden, but oh well. Anyway, and I used, this just called for yellow, but I used the gold that Colvin sent me that she calls Satan's pubic hair. It was okay to do this little bitty thing. The piece that I cut off wasn't very big. But it unravels from itself. So that doesn't make things any easier. Anyway, it's almost the end of October, and I haven't even gotten the first one finished. Thank goodness I picked those because they're quicker. Right? I worked on, I tell you, last weekend while Dax and Wyatt were gone, I was going to take my car, which we almost never drive, just because what we generally drive is a Ford Focus. I drive a Suburban. That's my preferred car, but the Focus gets better gas mileage and all of that, so that's what we usually drive. I I went out to start mine and nothing. The battery totally dead. Dax had it hooked up to the charger after he got home. And it says that the battery is charged 100%, but it's not strong enough to even get the inside lights, the dome light, to come on. So I'm guessing sometime this week we're going to go buy a new battery, but that's always lots of fun. I worked on my Mystic Stitch piece, Solitude. This won't be very impressive, but it thrills me to no end. So that's all that matters, right? So I got stuff done in here. It thrills me to no end because, you know, it took me how many years to get this one done? 3 years to get this page right here done. And in 2020, I want to get 2 pages done. One small one like this, partial page, and then a full page. So, in order to do that, I have to do roughly 7 blocks a month. And I actually have completely finished one of the blocks. I feel like I need to get as much ahead as possible in order to accomplish that. So to have even one block done, I'm thrilled. But I only had just a little bit done here, so most of this I have done this week, and that is in just roughly 15 minutes a day, giving myself 15 minutes and doing what I can. Yeah, it's confetti heavy, so you don't get a ton done in 15 minutes, but I feel like if I could stick to 15 minutes most days, like I didn't stitch on it yesterday, I feel like I could accomplish, in 15 minutes a day, I think I can really accomplish the 7 blocks a month without too much trouble, if I can stick with it. That's always key. If I'll do it. Because all too often, if I set myself a goal like that, I'm like, screw you. You're not telling me what to do. Okay, I worked on the 4 hearts that I'm doing on the red Ada. This is from crossstitching.com. Crossstitching.com. This is what I took with me yesterday to work on, because I actually had thought to myself, a 3-hour drive in the car. Now, it was still kind of dark for the first hour, but even a 2-hour drive in the car, I should have been able to finish this. Since the last time you've seen it, I have finished this square with the flowers and started on this one, and I started coming from here and coming down, and I'm not going to meet up where I need to right here. I have 1 stitch too many up here. So this has to come out right here. And the road we were on was kind of bumpy. It was hard to get these few stitches in anyway. So that's why I decided, you know what, just forget it. But I have hopes I can finish this one before the end of the year. So, anyway, I'm getting close, and that's only been, what, a year of heart? Something like, something ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know when I started it, so. I don't know how long it's taken, but I see a finish on the horizon, so that makes me pretty excited. And I need to just go ahead and pull those stitches out today, so it will be done, and I'll work on it instead of putting it off. My new start from 2 weeks ago was this little spring bunny. It says Happy Spring, Happy Easter. I'm only doing the rabbit. I'm not doing the words or these background lines or anything like that. Sorry. This was an old kit, and it's for this card. It comes with the card and the envelope and all of that. It's from 1988. Let's put it this way. So here are the instructions. Right? All of this. So here's the first page of the instructions. And look, they open not from this side, which you would expect, but from over here. And when they open, everything inside is upside down. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, working on this one, I just kind of picked a color, and I would use that color. I'd fill in that color in the area it was in, and that's what I did on that day. So, but, you know, I got her face done, and most of her hat. She's got ears coming up from right here. So, I think most of the hat's done. There's some more that comes in this bow right here, but anyway, I didn't think that was a bad start for me. I mean, some of them have like 3 X's in it, so maybe it's an impressive start. I don't know. And this week's start was the Prairie Schooler, and I'm doing the log cabin looking one. One of the things that I find with Prairie Schooler is that I feel like it's so hard to actually tell what something's going to look like by their pictures. I feel like their pictures are darker than what you actually wind up with. But anyway, could just be me. I started it originally on this because I thought, oh, it'll look like snow falling, you know, whatever. Where's my start? It's very impressive. See there? This is a 32 count. I hate it. I hate it. So, I put in like 5 stitches, and it was like, I will never, ever, ever work on this if I keep using this fabric. And it's not the fabric's fault that I hate it. It's too hard for me to see. Probably if I did it like right now where it's really bright out here, and the sun's shining in. But generally when I'm out here stitching is between like 5:30 and 7:30 in the morning, so that's not going to happen. So I switched. To this fabric, which is something I've dyed. It's an Ada. I think it was originally a pale yellow, and I dyed it with gray. But here's where I've gotten to on it. And this makes me much happier. So, it's kind of a big piece. I don't know if I decide to do the other 2 houses, then I could probably fit them. Yeah, no problem. I could fit them all on here. But we'll see if I decide to do them or not. I'm very excited about this week's start. I've been dying to start it since I got it. It was in a bunch of patterns that Sherry had sent me. And it is the Alamo. I have it all here. Because like I said, I'm dying to start it. It's one that was her mother's, and she sent it to me. Let's see if I could see where the pattern's from 1985. It's on a piece of like regular typing paper with a photo glued to the front. But I love it, and I have been dying to start it since she sent it to me. This is one of those where I say, I was talking about putting them in my, sorry for the noise, kitting them and putting them in my box of kitted projects and going in line, and that sometimes it kills me. This is one of them that I want to cheat, but I didn't. Anyway, that's my start for this week. I'm sorry, I know that noise was probably hideous for all of y'all. While Dax and Wyatt were gone, sometimes I have time where I can sit in bed. If everybody else has stuff going on, it makes it easier for me to be able to just sit and stitch in the evenings. So I grabbed one that was easy to see sitting in crappy light. The lamp on my nightstand, the switch quit working. It won't turn on at all anymore. So I found a lamp that was in the garage because I had to move it because the cats wouldn't quit knocking it over. Bartholomew's like a wrecking ball. He really is. And so I have that in there. So at least I have light back again. But my bedroom's not like the greatest lighting in the world. So anyway, I picked this one to work on because it's like, it feels smaller than oh, it includes one 8 o'clock. It doesn't say how much, what size it is. Because the X's feel bigger than 14, but not as big as 11, so I don't really know. And this is in 2 shades of red. It was a kit I got on clearance at a Hobby Lobby. This says $6.50. It wasn't even that price. I know it was less than that because I'm cheaper than that. Anyway, it has 2 shades of red. I did it all in this darker because that's what my bedroom is done in. But I finished it. I'll get the string out of the way. I finished this one. You can see I centered it perfectly because I'm awesome like that. I think I'm going to turn it like into a lavender sachet and put a tie on it. We have a 4-poster bed where I can just hang it from, tie it and leave it hanging from like on the headboard part. But so I got to finish. I think that makes 25 finishes for the year. This makes me nervous for next year because so far I've gotten, finishing more each year since I started tracking it. So that really, puts the pressure on me for next year. Yeah. And last video, I realized after I said it on Wyatt's right here, I called this a poinsettia, and I said there's some red French knots that go in the middle of the poinsettia. I am aware that this is holly and not a poinsettia. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so that was everything that I stitched last week, or the last couple of weeks. I feel good about it. I feel a little bit accomplished, so I'll take it. A few weeks ago, I told y'all that I had ordered some patterns, but I hadn't printed them out yet. I went ahead and, well, here's one of them. Printed it out. This one is like totally Kirsten. She loves sunflowers, dresses. She said she's going to go buy a hat and a bike so that it will completely be her. But that one made me think of her. I would tell you what it's called, but there you go. Yeah. If it's something you might be interested in, let me know, and I will look up. It does have an English name on the pattern on Etsy. No, I ordered it through my bobbin, I'm pretty sure. That one and this one. Because I had like a Visa gift card. But I had ordered that one and this one. I thought this was so cute. And I love things with these little motifs because I really feel accomplished when I finish a motif. That, I feel like I've made some kind of progress. So last week, our last video, because we know it's been more than a week, I talked about the fact that I had a tub of kitted things. I have 2 tubs of whips. And then I have a tub of patterns that are already in bags that just I need to pick fabric and pull the floss to kit those up. So I got curious and I went back and I counted. I have 78 whips. So, and unless I finish something this week by surprise, that number will continue to grow. But I'm okay with that because at the beginning of the year, I had 50-ish whips, and with starting a new one every week, and then in addition to the ones that I added in for Mania, it's not over 100, so I feel pretty good about that number. I have 41 kitted projects. Some of them are actual kits, and some of them are ones that I've pulled, my own fabric and threads for and everything. And I don't know if it counts these two or not. I have 90 projects over here in bags with the pattern waiting for me to pull thread, floss, and fabric. So, but then I was like, well, I finished, when I counted these up, it's like I finished 24 this year. If I could stick with that, which wouldn't happen because some of these are more big full coverage pieces. So regardless, we're going to pretend like that's not the case. It would only take 8 years. So why quit shopping? I'm only 8 years out. I mean, come on. We talk about buying more stuff than we can ever finish in a lifetime. 8 years. And I've told my kids I plan to live to be at least 120. So I have lots of time. I'm not even middle age yet. So there's that, right? Okay, I think that's all of, I know that's everything I stitched on. I don't think I did any other kind of stuff. And I just talked about all of that. I have embroidery stuff. I have crochet stuff. I have some quilting stuff. So we're just going to focus on the cross stitch and, in a perfect world, 8 years. That's where we're going to keep our focus, and we're going to leave it at that and be happy with it. Because as I say over and over, it's all about the mind games. So, I kind of have made a decision, I'm looking around here because I have stuff everywhere. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of fabric. I have I have a whole stack of suitcases like from the 50s, late 50s, early 60s, where they're hard, I have a whole stack of those, almost as tall as me, full of crafted things. I have a big tub and 2 of those suitcases that are full of yarn. We've talked before about my issues with fabric, but I keep buying more. But I've decided that the best place for me to start is to finish up some of the projects that are stacked up on my desk. Y'all sit on my sewing machine it's not on a sewing table, it's actually a desk. But the desk works great because the little computer tray, I can sit stuff on that I can slide out and use, but still scoot up to it's awesome. Anyway, I've decided I need to first finish some of these projects so that I can clean it off and give me more room to work. So what do you think the chances of that happening are? Because some of them have probably been sitting here for years, just like they just get moved around like everything else. But anyway, so I have a goal. I have a goal there, but I don't think I've worked on really anything other kind of things lately, but hopefully I'll do some of that so that I can get it done. If you watched last time's video, is that even a word? I mean, it's that last time's video. That shouldn't go together. If you watched my last video, I talked about the YouTube channel with the smooth jazz, and that I left the same one on for like 2 weeks because in my peripheral vision, it looked like a squirrel playing piano. Well, I got a surprise package in the mail, and I had to get this video done because I have got to frame this and put it on my desk because Shelly sent me this smooth jazz. How freaking awesome is this? I'm going to frame this and I'm going to set it on the side of my desk so that I can, y'all can't see my hand over here, so that I can have a squirrel playing piano at all times because they changed their picture on the YouTube channel. I died laughing. I laughed so much. I showed it to Dax. Even he died laughing. That is too perfect. It is too perfect. I love it. I keep it in its little cardboard mailing envelope because I don't want it to get harmed. And I'm going to, seriously, I'm going to put that in a picture frame and have it there all the time. I love having things around me that make me laugh. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I told Kirsten after I finished my video, we would go driving. She gets her, I think I might have said that before. I don't know. I've done the video more than once. She's got to go test for, in 2 weeks, I think. Sometime next week, whatever. Someone will tell me what day it is that I have to do it. I can't keep up. But anyway, she's going to go take her driving test. So hopefully we'll have everyone. I say hopefully, but the idea of adding another driver to my insurance makes me want to vomit. So Dax and I used to pay, when it was just the two of us, it was less than $100 a month, like $80, $85 a month, something like that. Now I'm in the neighborhood of pushing $500 a month. So yeah, let's add another one. Of course, why not? And probably adding another car also. So hooray. We'll just work to pay car insurance. Let's see, what else? Unless by some miracle on my Stitch from Stash, I should end October at, right now I have $164.53 ahead. So that's pretty awesome. If I had been doing it officially and on the Facebook website, I would probably be in the red, which is why, you know, I didn't sign up to do it officially because I do much better. But as we just discussed, I have no need to buy another freaking thing. I know, as I say all the time, what does need have to do with it? I went to the thrift store, and it's too bad. I left the little box I bought in the other room. I bought some red ticking and some beige ticking. I love ticking fabric. I got these two fabrics at Dollar General. This one's hard to see. It's a little red truck. No, not Dollar General. And some black buffalo check. It was Dollar Tree. They were $1 a piece. And granted, I get it. They're not a lifetime use of a quilt kind of fabric, but that's not what I'm going to use them for anyway. And I got this bowl. How cute is that, right? I don't know why the boots are upside down. It's probably why people were getting getting rid of it, but what the heck. I am going to put some kind of arrangement in it with a candle in the middle, and I think it needs an arrangement with pine cones. It needs pine cones of some sort in it. But, so, I got those things, and I got another little wooden box that's going to be perfect someday for some cross-stitch pieces, whenever I get around to doing that, because you know me, I'm awesome at the finishing and getting all that stuff done. Okay, for real, I think that's everything I've done. I think that's everything we've got going on. I don't know if I talked about it at the beginning or not. The dog's doing better. She's getting to her stubborn Rottweiler sort of itchy self, which is an improvement. So she was depressed for a while when Abigail left, and she's getting over that and getting back to improving. We are at a place where I'm not sure that she's going to regain use of her back legs or not. We're doing what we can to facilitate that and, to get the brain to make the connection again. But Kirsten is looking into how to build a doggy wheelchair. And so Kirsten and I are going to give that a shot and see if we can, at the very least, get her up and a little bit mobile. She's been laying there for over a month now, and she's going to lose the use of the muscles in her front legs and stuff if we don't get her up and going. This morning and yesterday, she's actually done a little bit of sitting up after we feed her to, clean herself, and has actually pulled herself up that way a little bit, which is a big step in the right direction, but we need to keep pushing so that she doesn't have to just lay on the floor, because what kind of life is that at all? But right now, mostly she's happy and content and has gotten past her being upset about Abigail leaving, so that's all good. Anyway, I guess it's time for me to push on and get on with the rest of the day. I hope that y'all have a wonderful week. I thank you for your likes and your comments, and welcome new subscribers. I hope you'll stick around and that you enjoy it, and we'll see you here next time. Thanks, y'all. Bye.